Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we're really plunging headfirst into some fascinating topics to bring you those essential insights.
Yeah, getting right into it.
Okay, so today, imagine a world where shadows aren't just an absence of light, but a tangible, um, dangerous force. Picture this city, vibrant, caught between two ancient, warring magical orders.
And then, boom, a new threat hits them. Monsters, born from their own magic.
Exactly. It's quite the setup.
It really is. It's more than compelling. It's a world brilliantly crafted where the very fabric of existence is both beautiful and treacherous.
And what's interesting today is our source material. We're using excerpts from Catherine Doyle's novel, The Dagger and the Flame.
Right, so not articles or reports, but a narrative,
Hmm.
which is great because it lets us explore this world, its logic, its characters, almost like, digging through historical records of a place that doesn't exist.
That's a great way to put it. It forces us to look beyond just the plot points, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So our mission today, let's try and unravel the core of this centuries-old conflict, understand the surprising origins of its unique magic,
Trace the journeys of these really compelling characters.
and figure out how this one resourceful girl, armed with a hidden power she doesn't even fully grasp at first, might just change everything.
Yeah, we're going to explore that clash between loyalty, this desperate need for freedom.
And what happens when, like, deeply personal knowledge gets turned into a weapon. So yeah, get ready to dive into the city of Fantôme.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Fantôme. Let's paint the picture. It's described as both glittering and treacherous. You've got the really opulent scholars' quarter,
Yeah, grand buildings, learning.
but then you contrast that sharply with the murky hollows, where the text says, the wretched and the forgotten make their home. It's a city of stark divides.
Definitely. And ruling this city, especially at night, you have these two dominant powers.
Yeah.
The clandestine order of the daggers and the, well, more noble order of the cloaks.
They literally own the city at night. Their influence is everywhere. Key landmarks like the Aurora Tower, described as a proud candle casting its flickering light.
The Verne River cutting through the city.
And even that really foreboding Bridge of Tears, that name alone tells you something.
Oh, yeah, it holds a particularly dark history. We'll definitely get into that.
Because this rivalry, it isn't just some political squabble or, a simple turf war.
No, not at all. It's a centuries-old family feud, right at its heart. Started by two brothers, Hugo and Armand Versini.
Right. And they weren't originally from Fantôme. They came from this remote mountain village, Halbrock.
Albrecht, yeah. And they brought this new magic shade to the city.
And this is where their core philosophies just completely split them apart.
It really shows how these personal issues, when you add power into the mix, can just harden into these huge oppressive systems. Hugo Versini, he founded the Daggers. His whole thing was those who refuse to wield the dagger are doomed to die by its blade. Super cheerful.
Right. Pure power through violence, murder, and actually consuming the magic. We meet people like Gaspard Dufort, the head.
Ruthless guy. And then there's Ransom Hill, this very conflicted assassin.
And on the other side, you have Armand Versini, founder of the Cloaks. His philosophy was more restrained.
Much more. Take only what your cloak can carry and your conscience can bear. So, their focus, thievery, stealth, and wearing the magic, not consuming it.
And the people we meet there reflect that. Madame Cordelia Mercure, the pragmatic head, and Theodore Branch, the shadowsmith, who's pretty innovative.
And these aren't just abstract ideas. These opposing views became the bedrock of Phantome's two major powers.
Okay, let's talk about the magic itself. Shade. It's described as the dust that Lost Golden Age had left behind.
Yeah, volatile stuff. It lets you bend shadows to your will, but how they use it is key.
Right. The daggers consume it. Small doses, but it turns their bodies into weapons. One touch kills in 10 heartbeats.
Their eyes burn silver. They get these shadow marks on their skin. It's a heavy price.
Where's the cloaks? They just wear it, woven into their clothes.
Exactly. To blend into the night, for stealth, concealment. It's a really elegant, dangerous system they've built.
But the feud, the real start of it, goes even deeper than how they use the magic. It's rooted in this awful personal tragedy.
Oh, yeah. Their sister, Lucille Versini, she was apparently a brilliant scholar.
And she was working on something dangerous, at least to Hugo, an antidote to shade. A light magic, she called. Light fire.
And Hugo, terrified that an antidote would destroy his power, the whole dagger way of life, he hunted her down.
And killed her in 10 heartbeats, the dagger way.
Just brutal. And the consequence was immediate. Armand, furious, heartbroken, went after Hugo to avenge Lucille.
But Hugo, fueled by shade, was stronger. He killed Armand.
And didn't just kill him, he displayed his body from the Bridge of Tears for 10 days. A chilling message.
Wow. So that family war, it didn't end in peace talks.
Not even close. It ended in this uneasy truce, basically. You stay out of my way and I'll stay out of yours. A truce born from, like, mutual annihilation, not understanding.
And this isn't just ancient history. It's baked into Fantome's DNA, right? This cycle of conflict, distrust.
Generations trapped in it, yeah.
Okay, so this centuries-old grudge,
Yeah.
daggers versus cloaks, fueled by shade, holding the city hostage. But then things get shaken up.
Massively shaken up by a young girl's desperate flight and this hidden power she carries.
Seraphine Marchant,
Mm-hmm.
she's 17, comes from the plains. Seems pretty ordinary at first, more into fairy tales than, deadly magic.
But her world just gets shattered. Her mother, Sylvie Marchant, is murdered brutally. Farmhouse burned down.
And it's clearly Marcus a Dagger's kill. That gray skin, black eyes, black lips, no mistaking it.
Which forces Seraphine onto the road. Grief-stricken, she flees to Fantôme with her dog, Pippin.
Seeking sanctuary, basically. She ends up, reluctantly, at House Armand, the cloak headquarters.
And she tells Madame Mercure this half-lie, right? Says her mother died of plague.
Yeah, she's trying to hide the connection to the daggers, the danger. It's smart, buys her some time.
And then there's this object, a golden teardrop necklace, a gift from her mother.
All right, Sylvie gave it to her on Saint's Day, saying, "Wear this always, and think of me. May it protect you when I cannot, Sarah."
And this necklace, it glows sometimes, faintly, and it actually protects her from dagger shade. It's our first real hint of light fire. She's carrying it, unknowingly.
So Seraphine's in the city, hiding out with the cloaks. But beyond the usual dagger-cloak tension, something else is happening, something weird.
Yeah, these strange monster attacks start plaguing Fantôme. It's not daggers killing cloaks or vice versa. It's innocent people being found dead. Pascal Lorraine, Kip, an old woman.
Brutal deaths. And then ghost ships start appearing, crews just gone. 30 sailors from one ship alone.
It completely breaks the established rules, the uneasy truce. Both orders are getting nervous. This isn't how things are supposed to work in Fantôme.
The city's fragile peace is really starting to crumble now.
And the truth behind it is horrifying. Seraphine's childhood friend, Lorenzo, reviews it when she goes back to her burnt farmhouse.
What does he tell her?
That her mother, Sylvie Marchant, created these monsters.
Wow, okay.
The recipe is chillingly specific. Shade, mixed with heartsbane berries, which are pure poison tipped into this cheap fruit wine, nectar of the saints.
They're in the same. Ironic.
Right, and this concoction, it doesn't just poison the body, it poisons the soul. It takes away the person's will, their connection to their magic, turns them into these mindless, destructive beings.
So Sylvie wasn't just a smuggler dealing shade with the cloaks. She had a much bigger plan.
A huge and ultimately tragic, grand vision. She was trying to finish Lucille Versini's work to create light fire.
As an antidote.
An antidote, yes, but also as a weapon, specifically against Gaspard Dufour and the daggers.
And the monsters.
They were an unintended consequence, a horrifyingly misguided part of the plan. She meant them to target daggers, presumably, but they were just killing everyone, unfinished, uncontrollable.
That adds such a layer of moral complexity. Her goal was maybe understandable, freeing Fantôme from Shade and Dufour, but the method.
Exactly. It unleashed this entirely new kind of terror, a real cautionary tale about ends justifying means, isn't it?
Definitely. So Seraphine's grappling with this legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Ransom Hale, the dagger.
Right, initially assigned by Dufour to kill Seraphine.
But he doesn't. He keeps hesitating. He even saves her life. Multiple times.
It's a massive conflict for him. His backstory explains a lot. He lights candles for his mother and sister, hoping they escaped Fantôme, found a safe haven.
So he has people he cares about outside the order.
Yeah, and his past is dark. Violent father. His first kill was at age 10. He joined the daggers seeking power, yes, but also freedom from fear. But deep down, he hates it. He wanders quiet streets, imagining a life where he woke every day to the chorus of birdsong.
He's trapped. A dagger by circumstance, but longing for something else.
Totally. And this is where Seraphine's necklace, that light fire hint, becomes so crucial for him.
How so? What happens?
When her necklace touches him, his shadow marks, the physical sign of the dagger's curse, they actually start to fade.
Whoa. Okay.
It's huge for him. He sees it. He realizes its potential as an antidote. He even says he wants his own marks gone. It's the first real, tangible hope he's seen that escape might actually be possible.
So this shared desire for freedom,
Mm-hmm.
it bridges the gap between them. Dagger and Well, not quite a cloak, but allied with them.
Exactly. Despite being on opposite sides, they both desperately want out of their respective darkness. Dufour, Shade, the whole Dagger life.
It leads to this unexpected alliance. Ransom risks everything, his life, his position, Dufour's wrath, to help Seraphine.
Starting with finding that antidote, he tells her Lucille Versini's journal, the key to Lightfire, was buried with her.
In the Dagger Catacombs, Hugo's Passage.
Yep, and he helps her infiltrate it. Reluctantly, maybe, but he does it. They retrieve the journal from Lucille's crypt. A huge win.
So now they have a potential key to Lightfire. What does Seraphine do with it?
She goes back to House Armand, and she confides in Theo, the Shadowsmith. Tells him everything. Her mother's plan, the journal.
And Theo, his skill is normally shaping shade into objects, right? Like tools, not weapons.
Exactly. But now he turns all his skill towards Lightfire. He dedicates himself to figuring out Lucille's work.
And Seraphine learns something about Theo too, doesn't she?
She does. Turns out Theo is a Versini. By blood. From Halbrocht, just like Hugo and Armand.
Wow. Another connection back to the start.
His father was the previous Shadowsmith, but Theo completely rejects the dark path of his relatives. He wants to use his inherited talent for good, for healing.
So Theo and Seraphine working with Lucille's journal. What do they find? The recipe.
They do. Lightfire resides in the bloom of bone shade, whatever that is. But the crucial missing ingredient, the thing Lucille maybe didn't figure out, is gunpowder.
Gunpowder, okay. Unexpected.
Right. And with this knowledge, Theo crafts something amazing. A Lightfire cloak for Seraphine.
A physical manifestation of this new power.
Exactly. More than just the necklace. This cloak lets her dissolve shadows, actively fight shade. It makes her feel utterly at peace. It's described as far more powerful than the tiny teardrop.
So Lightfire isn't just canceling out shade.
No, it's its own force.
Right.
An opposite magic. It fundamentally shifts the power balance in Phanto. It's not just neutralizing a negative, it's introducing a positive, transformative energy. Real hope.
Which leads us to the final showdown. But first, another massive personal revelation for Seraphine.
Oh yeah, the big one. She discovers Gaspard Dufour. Her mother's murderer, head of the Daggers, is her father.
That just changes everything. How do you even process that? The source of so much pain is your own blood.
It's devastating. It makes her quest for revenge incredibly complicated, but it also hardens her resolve. How do you fight against that connection, especially when Dufour uses it, reminds her of the abuse he inflicted on her and her mother?
It raises huge questions about identity, destiny.
Absolutely. But despite this emotional bomb, Seraphine pushes forward with the plan. With Theo, Val, and Bibi, they decide to use the Lightfire to cleanse the Aurora Tower.
That ancient monument, now a symbol of fear. Use Lightfire there.
Yeah. And she gathers the monsters her mother created, the ones she can now command, using her Lightfire cloak and pearls to lead them there. It's a bold move.
And the confrontation with Dufour. Where does it happen?
Down in the catacombs, Seraphine confronts him. He actually tries to kill Ransom.
Of course he does.
But then, in this moment of dark, twisted justice, one of Sylvie's monsters attacks Dufour and kills him.
So Sylvie's flawed plan, her monstrous creations, ultimately deliver her revenge.
In a way, yes. A gruesome end for Dufour and a complicated kind of closure for Seraphine.
But the fallout continues. What happens with Ransom?
This is heartbreaking. To protect Seraphine and maybe try to change things from the inside, Ransom makes this incredibly difficult choice.
He stays.
He takes Dufour's ring, he becomes the new head of the Order of the Daggers, calls it a thorn in his soul.
He takes the power he hates.
Exactly. He pushes Seraphine away, tells her to go, find her freedom. He sacrifices their shared dream, their connection, for what he sees as the greater good, or maybe the only way forward for him. It's a heavy burden.
Wow. Meanwhile, the Aurora Tower plan.
It actually works. The Lightfire cleansing saves the monsters, restores them from their cursed state. So that part is a success.
But there's always a but.
But a lightning strike hits the tower during the chaos. The ancient structure starts to crumble. Lark, another dagger who tries to kill Seraphine in the confusion, dies in the collapse.
And Nadia, another dagger, blames Seraphine for it all.
Yeah, wrongly. So even with Dufour gone and Lightfire revealed, the aftermath is messy. New enemies, new conflicts.
So Fantôme is shattered, the old order is broken, but it's not exactly peaceful. What's next for Seraphine and her allies?
They leave. Seraphine, Theo, Val, Bibi, and Pippin the dog, they head out. Their destination, Halbrocht.
Back to where the Versini brothers started, Theo's ancestral home.
Right. Seeking a future away from phantom shadows, maybe hoping to explore Lightfire's full potential there. It feels like a new beginning, trying to escape the cycle rather than just fight within it.
What an incredible journey we've just traced through Fantone, through the dagger and the flame. We've hit the intricate magic shade and Lightfire.
That devastating Versini family history.
The really complex, brave, sometimes morally gray choices of Seraphine and Ransom.
And ultimately, the triumph of Lightfire, of hope over shade, over despair, even with new challenges popping up.
So hopefully you listening feel like you've got a shortcut now to being well-informed about this world where shadows hide secrets and every choice has huge consequences.
Yeah, this dive really showed how tangled up personal history and these big magical conflicts can get. They shape everything.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Seraphine and Ransom, they chose such vastly different paths towards freedom in the end.
One fleeing to build something new, the other staying to fight the system from within.
So it leaves us wondering, what does freedom really mean when your past, your destiny, is so tied to the very things you want to escape?
Hmm. And when is making that huge personal sacrifice, like Ransom did, maybe the only choice you feel you have for a greater good?
Definitely something to ponder. A lot to think about there.
Until our next deep dive.